Hey guys, what is going on? It's your boy, the Mad Tiger. And up here today, guys, we are here with yet the newest collection update for 2019. Now, we did the PlayStation 2 last, and we did that in ASMR. Sorry about the state of the room. I'm doing it in my son's room because all of my DVDs are in here. That's right, guys. We are doing the DVD collection. Now, as you can see, this was just the overfill part of the collection. We've still got a massive bookcase full of DVDs, and there's even some on top, and then there's some downstairs as well. Now, oh, one sec, guys, I've just got to go and take my tablet. 1 second. Sorry about that, I had to take my sertraline. Anyway, I thought I'd do this video in non-ASMR style for this part. Now, I want to know if you guys want it in ASMR for the rest of the videos. Let me know, and I will make sure I do it in ASMR. However, we do have a lot of DVDs to go through. So I didn't want to, the problem is with ASMR is it takes a lot longer because I have to do it in a slower pace. So I don't want to, take too long doing these videos. I want them to be, about 25, 30 minutes long per video. Whew, sorry, I'm a bit out of breath now. I ran up and down the stairs. Anyway, so we've got a lot to go through, and if you know me, guys, DVDs are some of the biggest things that I have in my collection. In fact, I probably have more DVDs than any video game collection that I own. And the main reason for that is because A, they're cheap. DVDs are dirt cheap. You know, I'm always doing these pickups videos with 50p DVDs and things like that. But I've also like to have shows and movies on DVDs because, yes, I do have Netflix, and you can get internet-based subscription services and watch anything on the internet these days. However, those things don't always work straight away, and sometimes if you have an internet connection issues and things like that, and not always can you find everything on Netflix and stuff like that. But I do use Netflix quite a bit, so just putting that out there. So these are in no particular order. We have got quite a few box sets here today. This is just the overfill stuff that was on this bookcase. So let's just get straight into it. Now, I haven't watched all of my DVDs, but I am working through doing it. So, up first we have Meet the Parents. Watched this not too long ago. Yeah, wasn't too bad. Pretty good comedy with Ben Stiller, Robert De Niro. Obviously, he has to meet his girlfriend's parents, and obviously there's something he expects something is going on with obviously her dad and all this stuff. And yeah, it's actually not a bad film. There's 3 ones in this Meet the series. So then we have the complete 3rd season of Arrow, still sealed, haven't got round to watching it yet. I know that this was on the American Netflix at one point, but it's not on the English Netflix. Kind of sucks there, but Arrow are obviously based on Green Arrow from DC. Then we have the Chronicles of Narnia, BBC TV series. I've watched The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I haven't watched Prince Caspian, Voyage of the Dawn Treader or The Silver Chair yet. It's very it's quite budgeted. It's nothing special effect wise, but it's classic. So didn't watch this as a kid, but I love the Narnia movies and stuff like that. So I enjoyed this, The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe, but I never really watched any more of the other ones. Then we have the RoboCop Prime Directive movies. Now, I always get these mixed up. These aren't the original RoboCop movies. These are the separate ones. These are different RoboCop movies than the original RoboCop 1, 2 and 3. So I always get them mixed up. But there's 4 on here: Dark Justice, Meltdown, Resurrection and Crash and Burn. I hear they are bringing back RoboCop, so expect a new RoboCop coming in the future. Then we have the Complete Mr. Bean TV series. This is also on Netflix, at least in Britain. I don't know about you guys in the US and the rest of the world, but it's on the UK Netflix. If not, I have the DVD series here. One of the best British comedies. Mr. Bean is absolutely fantastic, and in my opinion, some of Rowan Atkinson's best work. It's so great how you can have a very recognizable character and very relatable character, one might say, in a TV show without actually being based on talking and stuff like that. Then we have the Dirty Sanchez Complete Third series. This is basically British Jackass, one might say. In my opinion, it's more Jackass is more stunts and things. This is just more a bunch of guys just trying to do disgusting things and stuff like that, but it's really out there. It's really adult, and I wouldn't recommend watching it if you've got a weak stomach. Then we have the original Open All Hours TV series, and it includes seasons 1 to 4. So Open All Hours, starring David Jason and Ronnie Barker. Of course, Ronnie Barker, very famous from Porridge, and David Jason, very famous from Only Fools and Horses. Two very great actors. Unfortunately, Ronnie Barker was taken from us, so rest in peace, Ronnie Barker. But David Jason is still going strong, and I'm so glad that they did bring this show back with David Jason in a modernised one, but this is the original series. Then we have the Underworld trilogy, a set of movies that I've yet to watch. It's basically vampires versus werewolves, or lycans in this case, and it includes the Underworld Evolution and Rise of the Lycans. I think there's 4 or 5 Underworld movies, I think, and I'm not sure if they're bringing it back, but I do remember playing the game on PlayStation 2 quite a bit as a kid. Then we have the 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, Out of the Shadows and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Of course, the second one, or Out of the Shadows, had Seamus doing the voice for Rocksteady, I believe it was. And of course, I haven't watched these movies yet, but I don't know. I never really grew up watching Ninja Turtles, so I don't really have any nostalgia for it or any expectations going into them. But I have watched the 90s live action movies. Then we have the Police Academy Complete Collection, includes all 7 Police Academy movies, and they're all on there for you guys to read. I'm not reading them all out. And yeah, these movies are classic and very funny movies, classic as they come. Really good movies. I think I've watched all of them, maybe one of them I haven't watched all the way through. Then we have the Most Haunted Season 1, or Series 1, and Series 2. And of course, the Most Haunted, the Best of the Most Haunted Lives, Volume 1 to 3. I like ghost hunting shows, but I don't like the ones that are really over the top and you know that they're faking it. Most Haunted is British, so no offense to you guys in America, but I think the British version is a lot better. It seems a lot more believable, one might say. I'm not going to sit here and say what I do believe and what I don't believe. It's really down to personal preference. I believe that there's always the unknown is often you know, we as human beings, we like to explore the unknown and try and answer the questions that can't be answered, so to say. But I love a bit of ghost shows. I will say that Haunted Collector is a really good American. I'm not sure if it's American or Australian. I think it's American, but that was really good as well. But I do need to get the other ones for this. Then we have this movie I watched not too long ago called The Devil's Chair. This movie is weird as a weird comes. I didn't really. It's basically about this guy who got basically diagnosed. He said that he killed his girlfriend, but she was on this chair that sent people to another dimension. It's really weird. All I'm going to say about this movie, other than it's really weird and overly over the top, is that it's just full of swearing. It's just swearing. And I think it is a British movie as well. Then we have Anger Management, starring Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler. Very funny movie, of course. Adam Sandler, Jack Nicholson. What can be said about those actors? They are very good actors and very funny actors. Good movie. And then we have Who Framed Roger Rabbit, one of my all-time favourite live-action cartoon/movies. Really good movie. You can't beat Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Very, very good movie. And unfortunately, the actor, I forget his name, Bob Hoskins, I believe his name is. Unfortunately, he died. I think he died anyway. Then we have Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2. Die Hard 1 is, in my opinion, one of the best action films of all time, and in my opinion, the best Die Hard film of all time. Die Hard 2, on the other hand, it's alright. I watched it not too long ago. I gave it another chance, and yeah, it's not too bad, but it's nowhere near as good as the original. I don't have Die Hard 3, unfortunately. I do need to get that. Then we have The 40-Year-Old Virgin, starring Steve Carell. Very funny actor. I love Steve Carell. Really good actor, mostly known from The Office for you guys in America. And yeah, The 40-Year-Old Virgin is pretty funny, and yeah, a pretty good movie to watch if you just want to put something on that's not too serious. As is the same with 40 Days and 40 Nights, another sex-themed movie that Universal put out. Then we have Will Ferrell's Anchorman. I haven't watched the second one yet, and I don't have the second one. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty funny. Stars a lot of well-known actors in here. Of course, Steve Carell, again, makes an appearance in that. Then we have Beverly Hills Cop, the complete lineup, as it's called here, the special edition collector's edition. All three movies, 1, 2 and 3. I haven't watched any Beverly Hills Cop movies. I do know it's famous for having the Axel F theme song in it, and of course starring Eddie Murphy, very funny actor as well. The video game is terrible. I would not play the video game. It's on PlayStation 2. Look it up online. It is terrible. Then we have the In-Betweeners complete series, 1, 2 and 3. I enjoyed this show, part of the Channel 4 lineup. That was, this was like 2000 and, what year was this? 2010? Well, I don't believe it's 2010. It seems a bit older than that. But yeah, it was late 2000, well, I wouldn't say late 2000, but you know what I mean, about 6-7-year-old TV show. I enjoyed this show. I haven't watched it in a while. I probably will get round to watching this box set. And yeah, it's a funny show. It's British comedy. It's not one of the... I prefer classic British comedy and classic BBC comedy over Channel 4 comedy. But yeah, this is one that I don't mind. Then we have the very classic Men in Black. What can be said about Men in Black other than this movie is my childhood? I think anyone about my age had this film in their collection on VHS as a kid, and if not watched this movie at some point. It is very, very good movie. I love this movie. I don't know if they're going to do a new one. I hear that they are doing a new one and it's going to have a female agent. I don't really mind that. I don't really care that, you know, a lot of these movies nowadays that had, you know, male characters now have female characters or whatever. I don't really care about any of that. It's just, it pisses me off when, you know, there's a movie that's well known for having a certain actor in it, and then they replace that actor with someone that, you know, nobody's heard of, and it's like, oh, kind of like what they did with the Ghostbusters. I didn't have an issue that it was female Ghostbusters. I was just like, oh, wait a second, you've got the original cast, and now, you know, but that's a different story altogether. Then we have the special edition 5-disc with 6-disc Planet of the Apes. It includes the original 5 Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and Battle of the Planet of the Apes, or For the Planet of the Apes, and the behind the scenes bonus special documentary. Never watched any Planet of the Apes movies. I will get round to watching them. Then we have seasons 1 to 7 of Modern Family, seasons 1 to 4 here. Some of these box sets and TV shows and DVDs are my partner's, but I will just show them off for reference. I didn't mind this show. I've watched I haven't watched all of them. I've seen a few episodes here and there, and it's not too bad. Season 5, 6, and season 7. I'm not sure how many seasons there are. I think it's either 8 or 9. I don't really much care for American, comedies and Sky comedies these days, but I didn't mind Modern Family. But yeah, I will get around to watching that again. Then we have one of the most influential cartoons of all time, X-Men season 1 and 2 and season 3. I need season 4 and 5, which comes in its own box set. This show is very influential in the cartoon and animation studios because this show really pushed cartoons to the limit and included like social agendas and real life, actual political agendas and things that were happening in the real world, but obviously that sort of thing wasn't shown in cartoons for kids and things like that. But this show did do that, and obviously it was able to disguise it behind the X-Men and obviously the problems that the X-Men had to deal with and things like that, which was obviously meant to be like a real life, social and injustice and things like that was going on in the real world. And in America, mostly in America. But other than that, it is absolutely, in my opinion, probably the best Marvel cartoon of all time. It is absolutely fantastic. I would recommend it to any fan of Marvel. Even if you're not a fan of X-Men, definitely check it out. It's really good. Then we got a show that I did a TV review on not too long ago, Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers, the complete series. Really enjoyed this show. Love the theme song. Always we will fight as one till the battle's won with evil. Sorry. But yeah, love this show. It's a good show. You can see a lot of characters in here, and of course, villains as well and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to seeing if there's any new Avengers shows that we're going to get. I know Avengers Assemble is on Amazon Prime, but they should have brought it out on DVD really. Speaking of Marvel films, here's one that I watched not too long ago. Avengers Confidential, Black Widow and Punisher. This was actually not a bad film. It's basically Punisher and Black Widow, and I really enjoyed this film. Actually, it had a very anime style to it. It was very Japanese styling, obviously English voices and stuff, but it had a Japanese anime style to it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the animation style was really good, and I'd like to see more Marvel and DC and comics films animation done in the anime style. Then we have Jim Carrey's and Jeff Daniels starring in Dumb and Dumber. It's basically about two stupid guys. It's a very good movie. It's feel good. It's nothing to be taken too seriously. Pretty funny film, and of course Jim Carrey is absolutely the right actor to have in a movie like that. Then we have The Hangover, again, a movie that I watched not too long ago. I was late to the party with this one. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty funny, pretty, a situational comedy, and, they get into some crazy stuff and that sort of thing, a sort of movie you just put on and don't take too seriously. Then we have the second movie in the Meat series, Meet the Fockers. Yes, the whole joke is the fact that his second name is Focker. Not Fucker, Focker. Of course, Ben Stiller once again, and haven't watched this one yet. I will get round to watching it. Speaking of Ben Stiller, here's another Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston film. You'd be surprised how many films they are in together. Yeah, of course, we have Along Came Polly. Haven't watched this yet. I don't know what it's about and stuff, but I'm guessing it's sort of like a rom-com made by the same people who made Meet the Fockers and things like that. So probably in that sort of same vein. Then we have The King and I, Rodgers and Hammerstein. You may know this film, the name from the Family Guy episode, but Yeah, it's I believe this is a just it's a film based on the old play that they did. I don't really know why I have this, but hey, got to have some sort of musical in there somewhere. Then we have the Rocky collection, includes Rocky 1 through 5 and of course Balboa. I'm ashamed to admit that I haven't watched any Rocky film. I will get round to watching this. This is the undisputed collection. Of course, Sylvester Stallone, very, very well-known actor, very well-known movies. Then we have another Ben Stiller movie, Zoolander. I believe this is based on like fashion and things like that, like a fashion designer or something like that. Another sort of movie based around, you know, one of these not to be taken too seriously comedies, things like that. So then we have the very, very famous Lord of the Rings motion picture trilogy. Includes all 3 movies, and of course, I haven't watched Lord of the Rings in a long time, so I'm probably going to have to watch these at some point and, you know, see how well they hold up. They hold up very well, don't get me wrong. I just mean I need to sort of give myself a bit of a refresher. Then we have the Monty Python collection. It includes all 4 Monty Python movies. Now for something completely different, The Holy Grail, Life of Brian, and The Meaning of Life. These movies are just wacky, over-the-top, sort of spoof movies, starring a lot of very well-known British actors, mostly well-known for having... I forgot his name, but he's the geezer out of Fawlty Towers. I always forget his name. I'll probably remember it after this video, but yeah, very, very funny films. I've only seen The Holy Grail though, mind you. Then we have the Norman Wisdom collection. It includes 12 movies from Norman Wisdom. Norman Wisdom, part of the golden era of movie. Well, not really golden era, but the black and white era. You know, 50s sort of thing. I like sort of these old comedies and black and white movies. It's kind of out there for someone like me to like these sort of things, but I like Laurel and Hardy and things, and I remember watching these films with my granddad. Then we have Moana. Actually, kind of like this film, actually. I actually enjoyed this one, actually. I didn't think I'd like it, because I really don't want to watch Frozen, but I enjoyed Moana. What can I say except you're welcome? Yeah, Moana's pretty good. You know, Disney, what can you say about Disney? It's one of the biggest corporations out there, so, you know, sometimes their movies don't hold up. Some of them are better than others, but overall, Moana's pretty good. Then we have Gone in 60 Seconds. Watched this not too long ago. It's actually a really good movie. I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. And it's basically about this guy who has to save his brother by stealing all of these exotic cars. It sort of reminds me of like a Fast and Furious kind of movie, that sort of thing. But I really enjoyed it. Then we have the Ren and Stimpy Show. One of the over-the-top, really out there Cartoon Network shows back in the day. I believe it was Cartoon Network. This includes series 1 and 2. Never watched this growing up, but I hear this is a really show that has a lot of context to it that, you know, kids don't understand, but when you watch it as an adult you see just how, you know, the dark humor in it is very noticeable for adults. Then we have the Dirty Sanchez movie. Of course, like Jackass, it had to have its movie. Very, very out there show. And then we have the the rest of the show, series 2, 3 and 4. Series 2 again is where they go out and get different jobs and things and mess around doing all these jobs. Series 3 is where they go around Europe doing this tour and things, and then series 4 is basically like a behind the scenes of the movie. Basically the movie's based on the 7 Deadly Sins, and the season 4 is basically a behind the scenes footage and extra stuff like that. There is a series 5, but it weren't actually called series 5. It was actually what's his name? Fucking yeah, Dayton and Pritchard basically went around the world trying to get all of these legal highs and things, and doing all these things to do with like legal drugs in what different places in the world. Not necessarily drugs, but all of these different weird things and stuff like that. And that was a really good season. You know, I found that, but that's not on DVD, unfortunately. Then we have the Dark Knight trilogy. Absolutely fucking amazing movies. These movies are some of the best Batman movies, in my opinion. These are not, maybe not my favorite, but definitely, in my opinion, the best live action movies. It's not my favorite of them all, but Batman Begins was amazing. The Dark Knight was spectacular, and The Dark Knight Rises was really good as well. I was born in the darkness. Really enjoyed all three of these movies. I would recommend them to any fan of Batman. Really good movies. These really did a good job of making Batman, you know, really, you know, a much darker Batman and a more serious Batman, you know, because the 90s Batman movies were darker than the 60s Batman movies. However, it still had a bit of a comedy to it. These ones were much more serious. And then we have this anime box set here, which includes 10 different animes. It don't include the whole series. It just includes some episodes from 10 different animes. It includes Adventures of the Mini Goddess, Habani Renmei, Chobits, Gungrave, which I have heard of, Serial's Experiment Lane, Gungrave I think is also a video game, Tenchi Muyo, Lunar Legend Tsukumi Himi, I think Lunar Legend is also a video game as well, Paranoia Agent, Rod the TV, and Tex I have no clue how to pronounce that. Tex Hosany or whatever. Yeah, it includes like a few episodes from them, you know, like you know, volume 1 and stuff like that. It's a good little set for some to check out some of the animes. You know, you could watch a few episodes, and then, you know, if you don't like them, you don't like them. But if you do like them, you can go and watch things on, you know, Crunchyroll and, you know, Anime Plus and all of these, you know, Kiss Anime and things like that. Then we have the Sex and the City complete series, or the Essential Collection. I don't know why I got this. This show's actually an 18. I always thought this show was like a 12, and, you know, like a you know, like a teen drama, but it's not. It's actually an adult drama, comedy drama thing. So I have to give it a watch one day. Yeah, I don't care if it makes me gay or whatever. If you know, I don't think anyone can really sit there and say you're gay for watching a certain TV show. I know loads of people that watch things like RuPaul Drag Race, yet they're not drag queens or nothing. So, and then we have Idiocracy. Did a review on this not too long ago. Love this movie. Then we have Sin City, a very dark movie. Again, Quentin Tarantino, director. I think this movie's done in black and white as well. A film noir, sort of almost superhero, dark tone sort of thing. Then we have 3:10 to Yuma, Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, very well-known actors there. It's a Western. I do like a Western every now and then. Yeah! Then we have Watership Down, often considered to be a very, very dark movie. Do not let this movie fool you. Looking at that, you just think, oh, it's some kids' film. It is a kids' film, but this movie is very powerful. It's very brutal. There's some scenes in this movie that you would not expect from a children's animated movie. I know that they also did a new version of this movie not too long ago, and my mum watched it and she said it was nowhere near as bad as this one in terms of the adult situations in it. Back in the day, you know, companies didn't give two shits. You could call it a U. Nowadays, if this came out now, this shouldn't even be a U. This should be like a 12 or something. Then we have a Bachelor Party. Have no clue as to how good this is. It's just a movie I picked up on the odd one. Hangover Part 2. Again, really enjoyed the first one. We'll get round to watching the second one. Then we have How High, starring Method Man and Redman. I believe they're both rappers, I believe, or rap artists or something like that. Again, one of the stoner movies, something you put on as, you know, nothing to be taken too seriously. Then we have the Iron Man seasons 1 and 2. I believe this is the complete series. I don't know. It's the 1995, I believe. Yeah, 1995, 1994 Iron Man TV show. I think I may have watched a couple of episodes of this when it was on Netflix years ago. But I want to try and watch every single Marvel TV show and movie at some point. Anyhow. Then we have Black Hawk Down, another one of those famous war movies. Then we have Army of Valhalla, another sort of, Valhalla Viking brutal movie there. Then we have a movie called Cypher. It's starring Lucy Liu and Jeremy Northman. I don't know who Jeremy Northman is. I might recognise him when I see him. I really like that box though. It's really trippy. 10,000 BC, another epic movie, as one might call it. Men in Black 2, I actually didn't really enjoy this one as much as the first one, but it's still Men in Black. Here come the Men in Black. Then we have Vince Vaughn in Brawl in Cell Block 99 from the movie's director of Bone Tomahawk. Probably a very, very brutal prison drama, almost something like that. Then we have American Balls director's cut. I'm guessing it's a sort of, guessing it's sort of like, it's American Pie-esque movie. Cats and Dogs, say what you want about this. I loved this movie growing up. Loved this movie as a kid. Then we have The Godfather, the Coppola restoration. It includes 5 discs. And it includes all 3 Godfather movies and some extra bonus features. I have not watched the Godfather movies all the way through. I will get round to watching them because these are the sort of movies that you need to watch, in my opinion. Then we have the Predator movies, 1 and 2. I am ashamed to admit I haven't watched any Predator movies. The only Predator movie I could say I watched is Alien vs Predator, but I don't think I watched it the whole way through. Then we have Elektra, again, not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but still a Marvel movie nonetheless. I hear it's terrible though. Die Hard 4, this is the Ultimate Action Tin Steelbook edition. I really like this Steelbook. Then we have the Hills of Eyes 1 and 2. These are the remakes or the updated versions. They also had, I think they were either 70s or 80s ones as well. These are based on like cannibals and things, so nothing for children. And then, of course, Frozen. I have never watched Frozen. I'm going to have to watch it one day because, Disney and stuff like that. Then we have Dukes of Hazzard Season 1. Never watched this show growing up. Heather likes this show, so maybe I'll watch it one day. And then last for this video, we have the Lego Ninjago movie. Really looking forward to Lego Movie 2. So this part went a bit over the normal time, but that's being said, guys, this is part 1. I want to know in the comments below, guys, do you want the rest of the parts done like this, or do you want it in ASMR? But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like, and of course, comment below. Let me know, what is your favourite movie, and do you collect DVDs? If so, let me know. And of course, guys, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I want to apologise. I did not stream last night. I just weren't feeling it. It weren't that. It was my mate didn't come on till late anyway, so it wouldn't have been worth it. It would only have been like an hour on the floor for too long anyhow. So that being said, guys, I'm going to have to end this video here. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. And as always, have a nice day. Check out all the social media links in the description below. Take care, and bye-bye.